Hi guys, Mrs. Roberts here at home, feeling a bit bored but entertaining myself by creating your home learning task. So if we have a look at the beautiful Google Drive here, you can see we've got week 3 and all the resources are going to be available for you guys to use. The first 10 documents are all the worksheets and answers from White Rose. They're all to do with adding and subtracting decimals, and they all use White Rose. So if you make sure that you go on the website for White Rose and watch the videos, it's really useful and it teaches you guys the way we would have taught you. So definitely have a look at that if you're feeling stuck, or if you need a bit of help, keep rewatching those videos. Now this one here, which says 6.4.20, this one is the explanation of tasks. So if I double click on this one, that opens up and it shows me what's going on. So this one is just the letter that explains all the tasks we've got here, and it's got the White Rose as I've mentioned here. But we understand that it's going to be Easter, and it would have been Easter holidays next week, so we've tried to keep everything Easter themed and fun stuff that we can have a go at home. So there's no expectation that these tasks are done, but we hope that it helps you keep busy. Mrs. Clymer as well has been emailing all the teachers, sharing lots of books that you can see and hear online. Because obviously we want to keep entertained. I know I've read 5 books since I've been home, so it's a great idea to make sure you're reading and keeping up with your reading 20 minutes a day. I know my class were very excited about keeping up with the reading challenge, and I think there may be one coming soon. Now, I've also put underneath the maths bit here, there's an optional maths mystery task, and it's Easter themed, and you have to find out the person who's destroyed the Easter bunny costume, and it gives you loads of clues. And we've done these sort of tasks before, but I thought it'd be a bit of fun if you want to do it. It's 100% optional, but I know I'll probably end up doing it because I might get a bit bored, and it's good fun to practice my math skills. Now the English writing task for this week, I've created a task where I want you guys to write me a poem. Now I've left it really open as to what poem you could do, but I thought I could start doing it with you guys as well. So I've got my Easter words here, words I could think of to do with Easter, and I've put them down on my piece of paper just so I can keep it in my head. Now it says here, number 1, make all those words. Done that. Number 2, read through the model example and think of the skills we've tried to use. So hold on, if I click off here and I go to the bit that says Easter poem model, there it is. This is one I wrote earlier. So a new dawn brings light, the sun is a daffodil shining yellow warmth onto the world, a wobbling egg begins to shake in its nest, crack, the shell begins to split, the new life pops out like a jack-in-the-box. What wonders will it discover? So I've obviously tried to include some of the skills that I know poems have, and we can look back at these skills in a minute, but actually now I'm looking at it, I might just take some more words. So I've got nest, crack, and pop, shell, sun like a daffodil. That's a good one, and I'm just adding them to my notes. So there's a few other poems here that I've sort of just taken off the internet that I thought might be good for you guys to have a look at, and you might want to steal some more words from there. Magpie is a different language that we've got there. But going back to the explanation of tasks, said number 1, write down the words. Number 2, read the model. I've done that. Number 3, think about what poem you want to do. So if I click on this link here, it will open up with a website that looks a little bit like this. Now if I go down, it's got different types of poem. Now I did a free verse poem when I did the example one, but I might try a limerick. There once was a man called Mark. Now I want to make it Easter, so there's going to be there once was a chick named. Now when I look at that, it says the first, second and fifth lines have to rhyme, so I'm going to leave his name blank for now so I can think of things. Now I know on Easter morning I used to sleep in a little bit because I was very much someone who liked to stay in bed late when I was younger, so I'm going to write who loved to spend time in his bed. So let's think bed, Fred, Alfred. Can't think of any more names that rhyme with bed, so I'm going to go with Fred. There once was a chick named Fred who loved to spend time in his bed. Now I got the who loved because it says who loved on the website. If I just go here, it says who loved there, so I'm using that to inspire me. Then I'm going to talk about Easter, obviously, but on Easter, that could be day, could be morning. So let's think morning. It could be warning. Day. It could be way. I'm just trying to think of things that rhyme because it says that lines 3 and 4 here. It says lines 3 and 4 have to rhyme. So hold on, let me think it through. I'm going to go on Easter morning. He was up without warning. And now I've got to think what rhymes with bed and Fred. I'm finding this quite hard. It might be quite tricky for you guys. So I know it's about, for me, it was about eating chocolate first thing on Easter morning. So to eat all the chocolate. Now I've got my line here, but it doesn't rhyme because chocolate, bed and Fred don't rhyme. So eat all the chocolate he had. There we go. Had, Fred, bed. Oh, that doesn't quite rhyme. Let's think of words that rhyme with Fred, bed, Ted, fed, fed. So I can have fed at the end. To have all the chocolate he would be, or he'd be fed. So it's taken me a bit of working out to have a go at this one here. You can see there's my lovely poem that I've tried to create with you guys, because I know it can't be all easy all the time at home when you're trying to think of things, but you can do any poem that you want. You could do an acrostic poem. We've even put like a little acrostic poem on here to remind you guys that you've got, here you go, create your own poem. Just a little acrostic that you might want to print out, and if you don't have a printer, it just gives you an idea of how you could set it out. So you might do that one. So that's our English topic for this week. Now if I go down on here, I've got some things here to help you think about what you could put in there. So onomatopoeia, rhyme, metaphors, similes, personification, powerful vocabulary. Now mine was a very good limerick, but I haven't got a lot of skills like I had in the model example that I did before, so I could tweak mine and improve it, but I'm going to move on and explain the other things for you guys. Don't forget, this bit is the most important bit here. It says share at year 5 at Harrison Primary School, or y5 at harrisonprimaryschool.co.uk, and we really love when you guys email in, so please do email in all the things that you've been working hard on at home, because it's great to hear from you guys. Now here we've got the spellings task that we've been doing for the last few weeks, and it's also mentioning what the SPAG tasks do. So have a look at the SPAG maps, have a look at the spellings, and make sure you're finding all those mistakes from Mr. Whoops to keep practicing your spellings. And then reading, we've got 3 comprehensions. 2 of them are really mini. They're like 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, so it might not be as long to read. But they're all sort of Easter based, Easter themed, but we hope that you keep reading. Let us know any new books that you would recommend and we could give you a shout out on the video. We've asked you this week to link with what we did in our learning before we left. It says develop your science skills by studying the night sky. Can you record the moon phases? Where it says the moon phases, we've got a little diary that you could use, but you don't have to use it. You could just use a piece of paper at home. I know I don't have a printer at home, so I'm doing everything on bits of paper. So that's what it's asking you to look for, sort of to draw the moon, if you can see it in the night sky. And it's giving you a little bit of help by showing you the moon phases that it could be. So it's giving you sort of a guide for what you could look out for when you're trying to do your moon diary. Okay, now, if we go back to explanation of tasks, so I said it's an important document because we keep going back there. We've also said egg tasks and Easter tasks. So we've said about practicing your DT skills because we've put on some Easter recipes that you might try, and I think Miss Bridges might have a go at making some hot crust buns or hot crust bun cookies because there's a recipe for cookies on there. There's also, which I think is going to be the most important thing, an Easter egg colouring in competition. So there's just a blank egg. Like I said, I don't have a printer, but I'm going to make sure that I have a go at home. So it's just a blank piece of paper with an egg on, and I want you guys to decorate it in the most inventive ways you can think of, and let's have a little competition and see who are the top 5 eggs that we get in our emails. And I'm going to try and join in as well because I do quite like a little bit of colouring. I've got my rainbow up on the window outside. And finally we've got the little recipes. Now I'm looking for the recipes, takes me a minute. Here we are. So you've got some Easter recipes there. and it talks through what you need, the ingredients, and then your step by step. But you guys know all about step by step because you'll have written your dream recipes that first week that we had off of school. Now, very, very important news from Miss Bridges. Very upsetting news. 5B have won Times Table Rockstars this week, which was very upsetting to hear. But shout out to Harry, who was number 1 on our Times Table Rockstars this week. And actually, it's gone down 5%, guys, the amount of people that are on them. So don't forget to go on Times Table Rockstars and practice your times tables as well. So, Y5R, I'm looking at you guys. Let's go for us next week. I've been going on Times Table Rockstars as well to help boost up our schools, so make sure you do that. But I also wanted to celebrate Owen and Elliot and Abby and Ewan and Hayden for their fantastic Bridges work that they've been sending in, and dream recipes and just pictures of the learning that they're doing at home. So thank you to you guys for emailing in. It's really fantastic to see you guys working hard at home. Make sure you have some time off. Make sure you have some relaxed time, whether that's reading, playing games, playing video games, going outside and getting some fresh air when you do your exercise once a day. But make sure you're being safe and having lots of fun, and all the teachers miss you lots and lots. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good Easter. Bye.